So in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to do some new tools like content-aware tools, which are pretty useful. And we're also going to explore a different kind of text effect that you can do. So first thing you need to do is go ahead and save as this image from the assignment page. This is a very odd looking image, but that's what we're going to use for that. And then I want you to go ahead and open that image in Photoshop, and that should be saved in your Photoshop tutorials or Photoshop lessons page. It's going to look like that. And go ahead and save real quick. I don't have to save, so I'm going to go ahead and just go with that. So the first thing you're going to need to do is switch tools, and we're going to start with the lasso tool. So the lasso tool you are going to be using to select, and we're going to select this hand up here with this golf ball. So I'm going to hide this. Oh, actually, you know what? I skipped a step. First thing I want you to do is go here to your workspaces and make sure you're in photography. If you need to reset, you can reset, and then you should be seeing the same things I'm seeing here. So the lasso tool, again, shortcut is the key L. I'm going to go ahead and drag, and you want to keep it pretty close to the hand. I'm going to show you what happens if you don't keep it close to the hand, just as a way of teaching you how to not make mistakes. I made this too wide. I should have kept the selection tool a little closer to that, and also this could be a little better. What I'm going to do is go ahead and go now to Edit, and I'm going to Content Aware Fill. So that's going to think about it for a second. Oh, that doesn't look too bad, actually. It's going to think about this, and it's going to be able to figure out, okay, this sky and this background looks like this. That's what the rest of that should look like. So that's gone. So that actually didn't turn out as badly as I thought, but I do see that the blue here is the transition between those two blues is not quite right. So to fix that, I'm going to go to Spot Brush Healing tool. And again, if you want to change the sizes of your brushes like I'm doing here, you're going to go ahead and use the bracket keys that are right above the Enter key on your keyboard. I'm going to see if I can make this look a little bit better. Right now, you can see I'm in the background copy of, if I want to hide that, I can still see the tennis ball there, but this layer is on top, so that is going to be enabled. And I'm going to see if I can try to smooth that out a little bit. I'm just going to use that a couple of times, and it'll do that. So that doesn't look too bad. I'm going to Control D to deselect what I was doing. And now we're going to go use a new tool called the Content Aware Move tool. This shortcut is J this time if you want to use the shortcuts. They're really useful to use, so I would recommend that you do that. This time we're going to select again, and this time we're going to be moving this lady over to the left side of the picture. And I want to try to keep my selection pretty close to her body. If I want to make my selection a little bit bigger, I can go here to this. I can expand a little bit, and it'll expand by as many pixels as I want to. So you see that's a little bit bigger, possibly too big. I'm going to expand by, let's say 3 pixels. Okay, so that we got a little bit bigger there. If I was a little too close or a little too small, you can go there and you can move things around as needed. So I'm still in my Content Aware Move tool, and I'm going to pick up this lady. Oh, see, it wouldn't let me do it. Why is it not letting me do it? What's going on? It's because I'm on the wrong layer. So background copy is the one that's selected. I need to go to background, and I need to unlock it so I can change it. So I'm going to click this over, and I'm going to move the lady over here, and I'm going to commit to that change. Okay, so obviously it's not perfect, but again, we're going to use our Magic Friend Spot Healing tool, and I'm going to use that. Oh, why is it not doing it? Why is it not doing it, Mr. Powell? Okay, because this is selected right now. So if I want to start moving things or changing things outside, I have to get the selection. So I can do Control D, or I can hit deselect, and now the whole layer is selected. And now it'll let me get rid of those weird hands that are just hanging out there for some reason. Okay, last step. You are going to learn a new text effect, and we're going to go here and we're going to type your name. Of course, you're going to use the words your name, not the phrase your name. And I need to be on top here. I have chosen the font here, Tourmaline, or, oh no, I've got the wrong one, Aesir or something like that. If you want to look through, I want you to find a font that is sans serif. So sans serif means that at the ends, it doesn't have any of these little curly cues or anything fancy at the end. It's kind of a simpler font. So you can do a simple one like that. You can go there. If you want to see all the fonts that Adobe has available, you can click right here. And what that's going to do is it'll open up this in your web browser. And I have to go ahead and continue with Google. And there are so many fonts right here. It's just kind of crazy. You can search for all sorts of different fonts. I'm going to say I want to do sans serif as my classification. And you can see the sans serifs do not have as much curly cues. It's more straight at the end. Serif fonts have little lines and such, a little fancier. So I want you to use a sans serif font. Whichever font you use is fine. If you find one you want to use, let's find one. I'm going to try this one called Ziglets. So I don't know how the heck you pronounce that, but I'm going to add that family. And anytime you do that in this website, it'll go ahead and add that in Photoshop. So I'm going to go ahead, and if I wanted to see just the Adobe fonts, I should be able to click that. And it's going to show me all the fonts I have installed, and I picked Ziglets or whatever the heck that is. And we're going to make some copies now of the word your name. You can go ahead and adjust that a little bit more. My letters are too close together. So right here is where you can adjust those things. To get this window, the character window, I went to Window and hit Character, and you can adjust those as needed. That looks pretty good. You can adjust the size of the length of the letter and how wide they are. You can do all sorts of stuff. I feel pretty decent about that, so I'm going to leave that alone. Now I'm going to make a copy of my name. Again, you'll be using your actual name, not the words, your name. I'm going to do that by holding Alt and dragging. And now it's making another copy of my name. I'm going to space that down a little bit more. And if I want to copy both of those, I can go ahead and my fourth copy. And again, I just hold down Alt when I am picking, instead of moving it with my move tool. I've got my main selection tool there. When I hold Alt, it's going to duplicate. Okay, so now I've got 4 copies of my name. I'm going to select all of those layers here, and then I'm going to go to Convert to Smart Object. Now all of those are condensed into one layer, but it's a smart object, so I can still change it and do stuff to it. Now I am going to try something called Liquify. To do that, I'm going to go up to Filter, and I'm going to find the Liquify button. And when that happens, this whole thing will pop up, and my mouse is vibrating a little bit. Maybe this is a lot for it to handle. If you need to change the size of your brush, that's way too large. If you need to change the size of the brush, you can do that. You can change the pressure, which is like how hard is it going to move things. You can change all this settings if you want to, your brush settings. But mainly what I want to see is that you're holding it down and like making it look like it's melting a little bit. You can kind of make this do whatever you want to do. You can do the individual letters. You can just do part of it. If I don't like something, I can always Control Z and go back. I want to just try to do this without affecting the second word. So you do however you want to do it. But I want to be able to tell when you turn this in that, hey, you actually spent the time to do this. So I'm clicking, and that's going to look like a little funky. I like a little funky. There you go. That's enough funk for right now. I'm going to hit OK, and then it'll apply that selection in the Photoshop assignment. And there you go. That looks weird, but that's okay. So you should have removed the hand with the golf ball. You should have moved the lady over. It's got your name on it now. I'm going to save. Go ahead and click Save. And this is going to save it as a Photoshop file. Save it in that Photoshop tutorial folder. And I also want you to export. So go to File and Export. Quick export as a PNG. We're going to put it in that same folder, that Photoshop Lessons, Photoshop Tutorials folder, and then you are good to go.